Recording.
Okay. Called the 8 o'clock agenda briefing of August the 20th order. 9, I'll call the meeting to order. Ms. Barber has the invocation. Wayne has the pledge of allegiance. We'll have approval of the August 6th minutes. Do we have any adjustments?
No, sir.
Okay. Then we'll go on to special presentations, recognition of Wayne County's Leadership Institute graduates, and presentations by Allison Sports and Amber Jackson. They'll be here. Recognition of Randy Rogers, Solid Waste Director, retirement for 33 years of service, and he'll be here. Introduction of new Wayne County Department Directors, and you'll do that. All right. Then we'll have a public hearing to receive public comments to consider consolidation of the Polly and Hunter Fire Service Districts, and we'll take action after that. Then we'll go into the consent agenda and the budget amendments. Angie?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
We're going to start off with budget amendment number 619. This is for fiscal year 24 closeout. This is to appropriate additional revenues received from over collections for our fire departments.
Didn't we just do one of these?
We did. We're still
Getting more money.
still posting and still cleaning up.
All right.
Hold on, let me catch it. Oh, okay, you got it on the big screen.
We got any questions? All right.
Number 623, this is also for fiscal year 24 closeout. This is to appropriately record ARP funds that were used for the site building and advanced manufacturing projects at Wayne Community College.
What is that 260,000?
That is monies that were left over that were not spent. It was originally set up in Fund 467 because we thought we were going to include that in a financing, and we never did. So when the decision was made to use ARP funds, it stayed in 467. We never moved it to 215. So all we need to move over is the amount of unspent funds for advanced manufacturing.
Okay, so basically all you're transferring over is the 3 million.
I'm basically changing the fund that it was paid out of. It has to be recorded in ARP.
Okay.
Strictly accounting, that's it.
Right here.
And also, the next budget amendment, number 662, is also a fiscal year end for 24 closeout. This is enforced collections, so we only do this entry once a year. This is to appropriate $66,332 for enforced collection of taxes for fiscal year 24. So we're appropriating the revenue and the expense for that.
Define enforced collections.
And I thought you would ask me that. Enforced collections is basically those items that go unpaid, and we have to seek court help from staff attorneys and sheriff's servant and attorney's fees. So this is the collection of all the costs and the fees that come into our tax line item. This is moving those taxes that were paid in the fees to the tax line item because it comes in Fund 774. So we're moving those into the correct line item.
Get all that?
Why didn't you just say that was Andrew's?
Collection. Andrew did his job, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
All right, number 36, now we're into fiscal year 25. So this is to reappropriate funds from AT&T refund check for the solid waste telephone line. So they need to appropriate that revenue there so they can pay those expenses out of their telephone expenditure line item.
All right.
Number 39, this is for the library. This is to appropriate $900 that they have received from the University of North Carolina for the Carolina Access 100 Initiative Program.
Questions? All right,
Budget amendment number 51. This is to appropriate funds to cover change orders from Michael Baker and S.T. Wooten for Ivy Drive. And we're using funds from WCDA's contingency line item in the amount of $160,020, as well as from another contingency line item of $118,128.43.
we figured out how much that road's cost us?
I knew you were going to ask that.
We knew it cost $250,000.
It cost-
So-
Yeah.
The total grants that were received was 1.45 million. The county was able to utilize 1.4 million of those grant funds because WCDA used 50,000 of that for upfront cost. To date, that road has cost 2.2 million.
Good.
And it ain't even paved yet.
It's paid, yeah.
Oh, it's paid.
There is another change order that we received yesterday in the amount of 189,000, which is not included in this budget amendment, because like I said, we just received it yesterday, so that'll be coming to you at the next meeting. And that is for aggregate base course.
That's where the road was pumping, yeah.
So the total county cost is 807,000.
Out of pocket, not.
Yes, sir.
Not, that's. All righty. Any questions?
Number 52, this is for the Sheriff's Department, but it's recognizing income and expenses for civil writs for this fiscal year per our GASB 84 requirement. And we're anticipating $300,000. And basically, that's just an in and an out.
All righty.
Number 53, this budget amendment is to appropriate ARP funds for the IT Sands project. In error, I left this one in our stack of budget amendments, but Giorgio will actually be presenting this later. But this budget amendment, he will be requesting the use of $1,053,243.33 for the IT Sands infrastructure project.
What is that project?
That project.
The Sands project.
SAN stands for Storage Area Network. So that's the storage that these servers would use, like, to run on. So the infrastructure is your switches, host servers, and storage all together. And on top of that runs software called a hypervisor, and that controls all the, equipment. So we're 8 years out. Usually it's a 5-year return on investment. We've pushed it out to 8 years. It is going end of life. We need to replace this.
I knew that was coming.
I knew the end of life was coming.
So we stretch as much as we can out of our equipment to save the county money.
Well, that just goes to show you, though, if they say the end of life is 5 years and we're going 8 years, it
Well-
really isn't 5 years.
We've limped it though.
We've limped it. We've, you can't get support on it without, like, from the manufacturer, you'd have to get third-party support on it. And our IT staff is very talented, and we've been able to limp it together.
The body is dead.
All righty.
And the final budget amendment, number 55, is from Services on Aging. They received notice that their funding has been reduced for the Family Caregiver Support Program. So we're reducing their revenue and expenditure lines for $5,872.
Is that like a state?
Yes, sir. It's actually Eastern Carolina Council of Government.
Okay. All right. We'll go to number 8 on the agenda. Consent agenda motion to approve the lease of hangar number 2 at the Wayne County Executive Jetport to the University of North Carolina Hospitals at Chapel Hill for a term of 5 years. Andrew,
Good morning.
good morning.
If you recall, we currently lease hangar number 2 to UNC, and they use it for their helicopter. That's their mobile transport by helicopter. We're currently under a lease, I believe, for 10 years. They reached out because they wanted to modify the terms of the lease. With the reduction in pediatric care at the hospital, there was a need for a pediatric flight unit. So they reached out because they wanted to modify the lease to accommodate a new helicopter that they wanted to put out there. So what we've done is we're going to redo the lease. It's going to be a 5-year lease that starts October 1st. It runs until 2029. The base rent will be $3,000. It will go to $5,000 a month. And you can see on the map, there's one modular unit that the existing flight team uses for sleeping quarters. With the additional pediatric unit that's going to be out there, they're going to need another mobile unit. So we're going to construct that. And then once we do that, the rent will go up to $5,000 a month. And also, we're going to use ARP funds for that modular unit. It's public health related, so it is a qualified expense. I believe that cost is about $86,000. So we're ready to move on that. In exchange, UNC promises to register at least $4 million worth of personal property at the hangar. And just to clarify, UNC Hospitals is tax exempt, but the company who actually owns the helicopter and operates it is a non-tax exempt entity, so they will be paying taxes on it.
But both helicopters will be, or just $4 million, so that's,
Minimum of $4 million.
so that, okay, so both of them probably.
But the plan is to put two, they'll have 2 helicopters up there, and do they have a plane as well, or no?
They do not have they have a lot of times ambulance.
That's what it is, okay. But they will be paying taxes, even though the lease is with UNC Hospitals, the private entity is the one that would be paying the taxes on that.
How about the ambulance? Does it belong to UNC or is it belong
I'm
to?
not sure
I don't
about
know.
that. I don't know the particulars
Let's
on
check
that.
into it.
I would think that's based out of Chapel Hill anyway, out of Rex, I would think. The ambulance part.
I would imagine it's that hospitals.
But I know this is something that the Jetport has been working on. Like I said, especially it's going to be pediatric focused, so it's going to be a good benefit to the county and the surrounding areas.
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Number 9, motion to cancel the September 3rd, 2024 Board of Commissioners meeting. Any questions on that one? I didn't think so. On to new business, motion to accept tax collector settlement for calendar year 2023 taxes and prior years. I guess Alan will be here for that. Number 11, motion to approve the order directing the tax collector to collect the taxes charged.
Now, this is on the consent, isn't it? Or this is new business?
This is new business.
Yeah, Alan will be here.
Motion to approve order directing the tax collector to collect the taxes charged in the tax records and receipts for calendar year 2024 and all prior years' outstanding taxes.
Wow, it is just amazing how fast time is flying. It seems like we just approved this.
Right, every year.
Okay,
Goes a little bit with
time for
gray,
tax bills again.
with gray hair and everything else, I guess.
That's right.
Number 12, motion to approve the proposed fire district for the Hunter Fire Protection District, which we'll be doing a public hearing for that at a prior time. Actually, we can't go. Yes, sir. I don't know that we'll, can we do the new business?
This particular part of the agenda on the fire protection district is separate from what we're doing the public hearing on. The public hearing is for the fire service district, which is the tax district.
Right.
This is for the insurance district, the actual district, the fire protection district with the insurance district. So this is separate, but it's the same, it follows the same boundary lines.
But
as the-
what I'm getting at is that if it's, with it being consolidated, how does that, if we consolidate the 2 districts, don't we have to consolidate them before we do this? Because it's gonna be, one protection or not?
No.
Okay.
The fire protection district is separate from the tax district. If you look at the fire service district and just think of that as the tax district, what we're consolidating, because by general statute, you have to have the public hearing to be able to consolidate those tax districts. And that won't take effect until July 1 of next year anyway.
Okay.
But the fire protection district, if approved, will take effect September 1 of this year.
Say it again, the fire what?
Fire protection district,
Okay.
insurance district, if you
So
will.
we don't have to consolidate the two with a public hearing to have to go through this right here then, is what you're
No.
saying? All right.
No, it's two
Mr. Chairman.
two
Yes, sir.
separate items.
You stated that the tax district would not be effective until July 1 of next year.
Next year.
Why would that be when our taxes are established as of January the 1st?
Exactly, it's based off of January, what the district is, January 1st. So that's already passed it, so that tax district will stay the Polly Watson Fire Service District until January, it'll be January is when it'll be recognized, but
Right.
bills don't go out until July, after July.
Oh, well, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and both fire departments has got the same tax rate.
Yes, yeah.
Got it. All right, any questions? Thank you for clarifying that. All right, the next one is the, motion to approve information technology SAN and infrastructure replacement project through contract with IPDS using ARP funding with the appropriate budget amendment pending county attorney approval. Giorgio's already explained
Explain
that.
that.
All right, number 14, presentation of bids for fiber addition at the new DHHS and new detention facility by IT Director Giorgio Christoph. So it's not got all that in yellow, do we?
Requires.
Okay,
When we initially bid it out, we only got 2, so we had to put it out for bid again. We got 3 this time, and we reviewed all of them, and I want to present, the cheapest, most responsive, responsible bidder. So I'll give you the costs, and we can discuss it then, I
is
guess.
that something we need to act on today, then, correct? Okay, I got it.
Mr. Chairman, the presentation part is not something that you'll act on just on the motion, so we only highlight the
I
motion.
got you, I understand. All right, then we'll go to county manager report, board of commissioners committee reports, and we have closed session, but I told that one to be here at 8:40, one of them.
Got something that can be discussed, I think,
All
before.
right,
Mr. Chairman, I move we go into closed session.
With your counsel to preserve attorney-client privilege.
all in favor,
I'm coming, I'm sorry.
okay, we cast your vote?
And it did not show up.
Mine's so good.
Yours did.
Mine didn't.
Perfect.
Okay, we'll start our meeting in just a few minutes. I'll call our August 20th, 9 o'clock Commissioner meeting to order. I apologize for the delay. I apologize for the delay in starting the meeting. Ms. Barber has our invocation.
Let's bow our head, please. Our Heavenly Father, give us the wisdom to make the best choices today for Wayne County. We ask that your peace lead us to find peace in our community and our county. Amen.
If you would please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank y'all. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the August 6 minutes.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Please cast your vote. Mine didn't come up, so I'll raise my hand.
Mine came up.
All right, thank you. Do we have any adjustments to the agenda?
No, sir.
Entertain a
Chair.
motion. Yes, sir.
I'd like to remove item from the consent agenda, item 7 and item 8 for individual action.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the adjusted agenda?
So move.
All right, please cast your vote. Okay, next on our agenda is special presentation recognition of Wayne County Leadership Institute graduates and presentation by Allison Sport and Amber Jackson. Ms. Ginger. Morning.
Thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time to recognize the first graduates of the Wayne County Leadership Institute. If you remember, about a year ago, we were here introducing this group to you and the concept of our program to build a leadership pipeline within our own county government. Over the last year, this group has been introduced to everything local government, from who we are, why we do what we do, how we do it, and how we exist. We've talked about every department, the importance of working together, but most importantly, that our job in local government is to provide services to our citizens to impact their quality of life. I have two graduates who would like to share with you some of their thoughts from this program. We'll start with Allison Sports of Wayne County Health Department.
Good morning. Morning. My name is Allison Sports. I am the Assistant Director of Nursing at Wayne County Health Department. I started out in public health in 2010 in a neighboring county. When I began my journey in Wayne County, I had minimal knowledge of the leadership, departments, resources, and partnerships within the county. I was very excited to learn I had been selected to be in the Wayne County Leadership Institute pilot program. The Wayne County Leadership Institute pilot program is a 9-month educational program meeting monthly with every department to immerse employees into county government. Wayne County has 1,000 employees and 30 departments. Due to the nature of our work, departments may not always interact with each other. Our cohort was able to sit in on several Board of Commissioner meetings and understand the process of how decisions are made. During the cohort, different department heads met with us and explained their department roles and functions in the county. Chip taught us our county demographics, how individuals are appointed to positions, and how the county functions as a whole. Ginger taught us that the state level of government is the most powerful and that we must always use gas in all of our decision making, meaning we can only do what the North Carolina General Assembly says so, forming the acronym GAS. Joel with Public Affairs explained that Wayne TV is not his only job function, but he can speak on behalf of Wayne County, and most everything is a public record and can be requested. Megan from the library stated that the library cannot disclose resources checked out to members due to HIPAA violation. Angie from Finance stated 15,210 checks were cut in the 22-23 fiscal year, and payroll processes 960 paychecks every 2 weeks. Paula from Services on Aging stated that seniors can do the limbo unassisted and probably have better mobility than most of us sitting in this room. Dave from EMS stated that Wayne County takes 22,000 calls a year and, of course, taught us all CPR. What I really learned through the Wayne County Leadership Institute pilot program is that the department heads are experts in their field, and without these key people in leadership, Wayne County would not be what it is today. They truly love Wayne County and their role in the county. I am honored to be able to work alongside a hardworking and talented team. This pilot program is essential, and I highly recommend the program to any future leader of Wayne County. I am thankful to the leadership that chose me to participate in this pilot program and for the potential that was seen in me as a future leader in Wayne County. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. And next we have Amber Jackson, Wayne County 911.
Good morning. I'm Amber Jackson, and I've worked at 911 for a little over 9 years, and my current position is shift supervisor. When my director asked me if I would be interested in participating in this first Leadership Institute, I was intrigued yet a little bit apprehensive. See, in uncomfortable situations, I'm very much an introvert, where I prefer to stay in the background where there's no eyes on me. However, I was very excited at the opportunity for what I was going to learn, so I went into this experience with an open mind and a desire and with an attempt to be more confident in uncomfortable situations, and I'm so thankful that I did. I'd like to share a few things that I learned throughout these last few months that really stood out to me. The first one that I have shared with several different people is, according to North Carolina General Statute, No more than 3 county commissioners can be together and discuss public business because that's considered a majority. With a majority, a vote could happen. Votes can only happen in meetings. Meetings have to be scheduled in advance, and proper notice has to be given to the public. Wayne County is growing with new developments, new businesses, subdivision expansions, and so much more. The Wayne County Planning, Inspections, and Environmental Health Departments handle and deal with everything from securing the proper permits and zoning to inspecting the builds multiple times throughout the year, and even continually processing and inspecting the builds throughout the year. And Veteran Services has assisted thousands of veterans with getting millions of dollars of back payments with just a handful of people in their department. I even learned some really cool statistics about my own department in 911. On average, our phone rings 6 times every hour and a radio transmission every 3.6 seconds. Throughout the different months, we also took various tours throughout the county facilities. The ones that I enjoyed the most were the Goldsboro Library, the new Fremont School, and the Farmers Market. But my favorite was the animal shelter, where we could see all of the sweet animals that were up for adoption. Finally, I would just like to say thank you to Joel, Ginger, Sarah, and Megan for the idea and the follow-through of putting together this institute. Thank you for structuring it in a way where introverts like myself are not forced to engage, but they feel comfortable enough to do so. I cannot wait to see what future Leadership Institute classes will look like and accomplish. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you again for the opportunity to bring these information to you today. I know I learned a lot in this also. One thing that I learned is that in order to be successful, you must surround yourself with people who are smarter than you are. And that is exactly what we did with Megan Wilson, Sarah Larson, and Joel Gilly. Without their expertise, this program would not have been as successful as it is. So thank you also for your leadership. And we look forward to being back next month with our next cohort to introduce to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
A quick question.
Yes, I would like to get a picture of the group, please.
Quick question. How many did you have participating with this?
We had 13.
13. Wow.
Yes, sir.
And do you have any of those present today?
They are all present today, I think just
Would they
about.
stand?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we'd like, if they could come up and get a
Great.
picture. We'd really like that. If y'all could come on.
Great.
Can we get Joel too?
Joel, can I get in?
That was Angie going out.
Said he got it, but he's not. So he took your picture, but he's not gonna. He's ignoring it.
While we're waiting on Joel, I will share this. This program got picked up by the NCACC. They found out we were doing this, and they featured this program in their documentary, The Generation Theory, that just premiered at our conference in August. So that's going out statewide. We're very proud to have been recognized as part of that also.
Great.
Have you got a remote
All right,
to take a
well,
picture?
now
Huh? Joe?
Have you got a
we'll
wide
know
angle
how
lens?
much-
Joel won't be in the picture.
All right, Trent's taking a picture,
Trent,
Dale's gonna
okay.
make sure it's done.
All right, Next on our agenda is the recognition of Randy Rogers, our solid waste director, retirement after 33 years of service.
I'll ask Randy to come up. You know, it's important that we have, you know, succession planning and building leaders, that work with us, and these departments getting to know all the, interactions of other departments, and that's what led to that, and proud of that group and for the work they did. Also proud, you know, Randall Rogers, young man here is, entering retirement, or has entered retirement, and, I know you're saying, man, he's that young, how could he get retired that fast? But he's worked here 33 years, and, a dedicated employee, and we really appreciate the work that you dedicated to Wayne County and the services you provided at the landfill and to the county as a whole and to the public. And with that, we'd like to present you this plaque, and it's presented to Randall Rogers, Solid Waste Director. He worked from July 29th, 1991 to July 31st, 2024. It's in special recognition for your public service and commitment to the citizens and staff of Wayne County. Your leadership and dedication have undoubtedly made Wayne County a better place to call home. The Wayne County Board of Commissioners sincerely thanks you for your diligent service to this county and wishes you the best for the future. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. When you first start with Wayne County, you never know where you're going to end up. And when I started with the Solid Waste Department, I never thought I'd ever be the director of that department. And it's due to a lot of great people that mentored me throughout the years, and I hope that I was able to mentor our upcoming leadership, and we got some good people in place. Cannot thank the personnel at the Solid Waste Department for the job they do day in and day out. And they made my job really easy. And thank y'all for the opportunity. Wayne County's a good place to work.
Thank you. If you'd like to get a picture.
Or do you want to stand behind it?
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
Enjoy retirement.
We'll try to.
You going fishing with Tim?
All right, we're gonna skip over number 5 and go to our public hearing at 9:30.
Yes, sir.
So I call the public hearing to order. Receive comments to consider consolidation of the Polly Watson and the Hunter Fire Districts.
I did not have the sheet out there, so if the chairman is okay with that.
That's fine.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Good morning. This morning, the reason for the public hearing is, the Polly Watson and the Nahunta Fire Department signed a plan of merger, that will take effect September 1 of this year. Due to that merger, it's necessary for us to consolidate the Polly Watson and the Nahunta Fire Service District. The Fire Service District, if you can think of that, that is the tax district that we charge for fire protection in that area. We do that for every department that we contract with. So this may be done by following North Carolina General Statutes for consolidating fire service districts. General Statute 153A 304, the Board of Commissioners may by resolution consolidate 2 or more districts upon finding the following. The districts are contiguous boundary. The service provided in each district are substantially the same. The services provided are, if the services provided for one of the districts, there is a need, if the services provided are lower for one of the districts, there is a need to increase those services for the district to the level of that enjoyed by other districts. Subsection, number 3, subsection B, before the public hearing required by subsection C, the Board of Commissioners shall cause to be prepared a report containing a map of the districts to be consolidated, a statement showing the proposed consolidation meets the standards of the subsection A, and if necessary, a plan for increasing the services for one of the districts so they are substantially the same throughout the consolidated district. The report shall be available to the office of the clerk to the board at least 2 weeks before the public hearing. Then it talks about a hearing notice, and the Board of Commissioners shall hold a public hearing before adopting any resolution consolidating fire service districts. Notice of the hearing shall state the date, hour, place, and the hearing of its subject, and shall include a statement that the report required by subsection B is available for inspection in the office of the clerk of the board. The notice shall be published at least not less than 1 week before the date of the hearing. In addition, the notice shall be mailed at least 4 weeks before the hearing to the owners as shown on the county tax records of the preceding January 1 of all property owners within the consolidated districts. The notice shall be mailed by any U.S. mail, any class of U.S. mail which is fully paid. The person designated by the board to mail this notice shall certify to the board that the mailing is completed, and his certificate shall be conclusive in the absence of fraud. The effective date of the fire service district shall take effect at the beginning of the fiscal year commencing after passage of the resolution of consolidation as determined by the board. The mailings were completed by our office staff and central services staff on July 15th, 2024. The report and map that is required was also delivered to the clerk's office on July 15th for public review. The publication of this public hearing was advertised in the Goldsboro News Argus on July 27th and August 10th. I have provided copies of all the documentation that meets the requirements of the consolidated service districts. I respectfully request, depending upon the public comments, adoption of the resolution that's also included in your packet to consolidate the Polly Watson Fire Service District with the Nahunta Fire Service Districts per the requirements of North Carolina General Statute 153A 304. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to.
Anybody any questions for Brian?
I just want to thank Brian for his hard work on this, because, this was far more complicated than I ever imagined it was, but I just want to thank you and your staff for the hard work that you've put into this.
Yes, sir. I will say, during this time, I got one phone call from a residence located at 278 Atlantic Road. He was calling for himself and for a couple of the neighbors there. They had got the mailing that we sent out, and he was inquiring what this was about, what was happening. I explained the situation of why this consolidation was taking place, and their next concern was, was the fire station staying at Polly Watson. I assured him that that was the plan. Nahunta would maintain that station as a second station. And from that, he was good. He didn't have any other comments on that. So that was the only phone call we had. And there was 10 of the mailings that were sent out that were mailed back for non-delivery. Of course, from January 1, that's a small number compared to what we've had in the past.
Any other questions? All right, Carol, did you say you did or did not put the sign-up
I
sheet?
did not have the sheet out there. But I did give it to, Brian for one gentleman, Edward Newcomb, to sign up, but anybody else?
Wait
if
a
I could-
minute, we're gonna set a precedence here. I mean, if we start doing this for future public hearings. So I don't know how do we address this?
I I think only the person that signed up should be able to speak, so we keep it the same way that we've been doing it. I mean, you know, you don't wanna, once we change it for this meeting, we'll have to change it for the rest of our meetings.
I agree with
moving
that.
forward.
I disagree, because if the sign-up sheet wasn't out there, how could they sign up?
Well, the same way that person signed up when she passed it out. So, and if they came in and wanted to speak, they should have asked for the sign-up sheet also. So it's just rules, and we just need to follow them. Because we could say the same thing with anyone that come up here. They could say, oh, we didn't know that there was a sign-up sheet, or, oh, I walked right past it, or whatever it may be, and they still have a chance to speak. So I just want to keep things the right way so we don't have future problems.
Well, I agree. I mean, because we're gonna have, this is gonna be an issue if we change the rules and
And Mr. Chairman, if I may add, when Brian and I talked, this person was here by the 9 o'clock deadline. I believe the other person was late, so that, if that helps you make
yeah,
your decision.
well, I don't have a problem with the one that signed up being able to talk, but anybody that's not signed up, that's Chris's as the chairman. I'm just saying, we just need to keep everything, the same.
Well, I agree to a certain point, but if the sign-up sheet was not out there, they could not sign it. And if you want to take a vote on it, I'm gonna vote against it.
I mean, we can vote on it, but it's still, the person was late. So either way, even if the sign-up sheet was out there, they still couldn't have signed it because it would have been
It would have
taken up
already
by
been
the
taken.
time.
See, it was taken up by 9 o'clock anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right, so who we got on the sign-up sheet?
We have Mr. Edward Newcomb.
Good morning. My name is Edward Newcomb. I serve as fire chief in the Hunter Fire Department. I want to tell you that since this topic came up in the early part of the year, representatives from both departments, both boards have met many times to work out details, both large and small. And we have worked very hard together, and we've come up with a solution that we feel like works for everybody. And so I'm here to tell you that the Nahana Fire Department's stance on this is asking you to approve this consolidation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, have no other,
I just have one quick question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair. What will be the new district's name?
Nahana Volunteer Fire Department, that will be Station 2.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
any other,
I make a motion that we accept the,
I got to close the, any other questions for Brian? All right, close the, public hearing. Do I have a motion?
I have a motion to, for the consolidation of Polly Watson Fire Department and the Hunter Fire Department. If you're gonna ask for comments, I'd like to make a few.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor. Any comments or any questions?
I'd like to make a few comments, Mr. Chairman.
All voted? Okay.
All right.
Go ahead.
I just want to thank both departments for the hard due diligent work that they've done on it. It's been a smooth operation, and as I had said earlier, it was a whole lot more complicated than I thought it was. But the bottom line is to provide fire service for the northwestern corner of Wayne County. I want to commend Polly Watson Fire Department for hanging on long as they did. It wasn't their fault that they couldn't continue, but it's they're primarily a farming community. They don't have a big tax base, and the cost of equipment and trucks and turnout gear, SBA, the breathing equipment, nozzles, hose, is probably, from the time that department started, I'm gonna say it's probably increased 100 times. And their tax base has not kept up with it. But the main purpose of this consolidation is to make sure that the people in the northwest corner of Wayne County has the same fire protection that everybody else does. The two departments have already started, training together, which they did before, but it's got a little more intense now. And, we've got people that was actually on Polly Watson Fire Department that is, transferring their membership to Nahana. There's a process that you have to go through. You just can't transfer them. You got these general statutes that you have to go by, but all of that is in the process. And, I just want to say that I'm very proud of both of the fire departments for cooperating and providing fire service for that section of the county. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Any other comments?
I'd like to say thank you also, as well as being from the northern end of the county. Thank you guys for what you do. I feel safe knowing that you are behind that fire truck. Thank you so much.
Any others? Thank y'all. We know y'all gonna serve,
Yeah.
continue to serve as you always have, and serve it well. We appreciate your dedication. All right, going back to number 5 on the, special presentations, introduction of new Wayne County Department Directors.
Good morning again. Randy, we're happy for you that you get to retire and move forward, but somebody has to stay behind and do the work. With that, we are happy to announce our new solid waste director, Blake Stevens. Blake, if you could come up. Blake has been with the county for 22 years and brings experience and expertise to that role. Blake was our assistant director at Solid Waste, so filling his spot is Brittany Wood. Brittany, if you'll come up. Brittany brings 10 years of experience to that department. We are excited to be able to promote from within. That's what we work toward and strive for. Next, we have Suzanne Ladoyan. We'll bring her up. Suzanne is our new health director. We're happy to have her on board. Suzanne comes to us from Wake County. We lured her over here to the better side. She brings with her 27 years of public health experience with a strong focus in community health. Right, we're looking forward to working with Suzanne. And last but certainly not least, we would like to formally introduce Ms. Michelle Estrada, who is our new Cooperative Extension Director. Michelle brings 20 years of experience in her program. We could not be happier to have the expertise of the 4 people standing behind me to help make our county move forward. So thank you very much.
Did any of y'all want to say anything?
I think y'all know I'm never a loss for words. So, I did want to, because I had a special guest today, and I first wanted to thank you all for your support and the advisory board. Most importantly, the employees that I have been able to serve in the interim capacity since November are top of the notch, gold standard, wonderful folks, and I'm so proud to serve them. But I did want to, I brought my mentor with me today, my mom, actually, and I think when you can have the luxury of still having your parents with you, you should always highlight them. My mother taught me about public service. She worked for the Department of Motor Vehicles for 38 years in state government and retired as a commissioner of motor vehicles. And so she taught me that it's always better to serve than to be served. And so I bring that into the work that I do, and I just wanted to introduce my mom to the Wayne County Board of Commissioners today, and thank you all. Thank Ginger and Chip. And I am so, so happy for Wayne County to be my new home. So thank you.
We're happy to have you.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Anybody else want to speak? We all?
I'm going to speak. I just wanted to say thank you so much for your support. You have been always so good to me. I started in 2004 with Wayne County, moving from Mexico, no experience, not able to say these words in English. And I just thank you so much for what you do. And thank you so much for I have some of my mentors in here too. So thank you. I really appreciate all that you do. And I'm so excited to continue to do the work that Kevin Johnson did with Cooperative Extension. And we have a wonderful staff, a smaller staff, but very hard, and they're very passionate about what they do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Blake, you gonna sit back there? I was gonna asked you if
I'm good.
y'all drove the garbage truck today. You did bring, okay. All right, thank y'all. Thank you for your dedication to Wayne County, and we appreciate y'all being here. All right, let's see. Consent agenda. Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Please cast your vote. Yeah, we already adjusted. Mine didn't come up again. All right, well,
That's with those items being removed?
yes, sir. Move down to number 9. That,
Mine was a yes. Mine was a yes.
all right, move down to number 9. Excuse me, move to number 10 on the new, business. Motion to accept tax collector settlement for calendar year 2023 taxes and prior years. Mr. Allen?
Good morning.
Morning.
Like Mr. Daugherty said earlier, this seems like it just happened like a month ago, but it was a year ago, believe me.
I think you're slipping up on us.
Yeah, we're doubling up. She said collect money, right? We got to do it somehow. Okay, so I think all of y'all have been through this. It's probably your 4th year for some of you. Some of you have seen it for multiple years. This is our settlement. We have to do this each year. It's statutory. This just basically is a snapshot as of June 30th before we ended the year for our tax collections and our enforcement collections. Once we get this done, we will go to the next item, which will be to tell me to go do my job for next year and collect some more taxes for the next year. So right now, we'll flip through this PowerPoint real quick. Kayla, will you mind pressing it for me? Thank you. This is required by general statute that we must, tax collector must make a report of settlement for fiscal year 23-24 and prior years. The settlement must be accepted by the tax collector before the tax collector may be charged with the next tax levy. The settlement must provide a report of diligent efforts to collect unpaid taxes. And these are some numbers we did. As you can see, we had around $61 million was our total levy for 23-24. We collected as of June 30th, $60.4 million. We had about $1 million outstanding at that time. We collected 98.37% as of June 30th, but we didn't stop. I checked it this morning, we're 98.67, so the money's still coming in. We don't stop collecting just because the year ended. Those are delinquent taxes now, and there'll be enforced collections on those as well, but as a snapshot for audit purposes, that was where we ended the year up. That's fine. This is our prior years. Like I said, once they become delinquent, they don't just go away. We still enforce collections. We try to collect those as much as we can. So you see, we collected around $836,000 of that this past year during the fiscal year of delinquent taxes. And I think that any questions on that, any of these slides? I'm sorry, I may be going a little fast. Okay.
Let me back up. I got a question here.
Yes, sir.
Some of that was motor vehicles. Can you go back to that? Okay. Where you had $217,000 in delinquent motor vehicle tax?
Yes, sir. Those are prior to 2013.
Okay, I was going to say, how are they getting tagged?
They're not. Those are left over from 2013 and prior years before that. As you know, before 2013, we used to actually bill and collect the taxes here in Wayne County. That changed in 2013. We still do the upfront work as far as valuations and stuff like that, but the DMV sends that out with their invitation to renew, and it's paid at the DMV office from 2014 forward. Those are old taxes. You will probably never collect those taxes. Those tags are gone, the people are gone, and they're just there, and we'll eventually write these off.
So at some point, you're going to bring to us for us to write those off?
Correct. Yes, sir. That's correct. Good question. Thank you, sir. And speaking of motor vehicles, this is the motor vehicles. This is the motor vehicles through the DMV. This is the new way. The gross amount was almost $9.9 million. Collected was 9.6. Actually, that, as I tell you each year, this is a little misleading. It says 97.62% collected. It's more like 99.999% collected, because there is a little gap there from the time the invitations go out to the time people pay. So even though that date stops June 30th, collections keep on going, and so this is the collection. It's almost 100%, really. the way it boils down to, because as you mentioned, Mr. Daughtery, you can't get your taxes and tags until you pay your taxes now, the way the system's set up, which is a wonderful thing.
It is.
Just to briefly, this did save a lot of money as well. Where we were sending out notices before, DMV was sending out notices, that's been consolidated now, so it's one notice now. We did away with basically half the mailing cost for all of that. So that was a very good plan when they did this. We have about 114,000 vehicles registered in Wayne County as of June 30th. And that's any vehicle questions. Okay, enforcement measures. This is our enforcement collections. When taxes become delinquent, we have per statute, we can collect those taxes forcibly through garnishments, bank levies, rent attachments, and ultimately foreclosure. I'll go ahead and say foreclosure, that's not our business. We don't want the property. We don't want people's property, don't want to take people's property. We just want you to pay your taxes. A lot of what we find in foreclosures are people that have passed away, not left a will, the heirs get the property, nobody wants to pay or settle up or anything like that. So that's our last resort type enforcement collection is foreclosure. We do have wage garnishments, bank levies, and rent attachments that we do prior to that. If we can't do anything with those, and we do send them over to Andrew, and Andrew's done an excellent job. Him and Catherine have done an excellent job working with people. Once they go to him, it's not an automatic foreclosure. He just works with them on his level, and he can deal with them so that payments if possible. If he can work something out, he does that prior to foreclosure. Any questions on that slide? That's it.
Have any questions for
Any
Alan?
questions at all for that?
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the tax collector's settlement for calendar year 2023 taxes and prior years.
So move.
Got a motion on the floor, please vote.
Mr. Aycock, did yours pop up?
There's up.
Perfect.
All right, thank you. Moving on to number 11, motion to approve the order directing the tax collector to collect the taxes charged in the tax records and receipts for calendar year 2024 and all prior years' outstanding taxes. Mr. Allen.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion on the floor, please vote.
And while you're voting, Mr. Chairman, I will say those bills have been processed. They are in our system now. They've been sent to our print vendor for printing and mailing. Probably will hit the mail later this week or either first of next week.
So we got tax bills going out?
You've got new bills going out, yes, sir. Season's greetings.
Season's greetings. All right, any questions for Alan? All right, Alan, go and collect some money, I reckon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
You
you.
reckon? We want to get paid.
All right, number 12, on our agenda, motion to approve the proposed fire district for the Hunter Protection District.
So move.
So you want me to explain
Yeah,
this?
let Brian explain a little bit, and then,
The fire protection district, is, even though it follows the same lines as the fire service or the tax district, is a separate district when it comes to insurance ratings. So that's why this is presented, in a different manner. And because of that consolidation, that's why we have to do this. Nahunta will provide the coverage to the citizens in that area, maintaining that substation as we've talked about previously.
Brian, let me interrupt a minute.
Yes, sir.
Carol, scroll that down to the top. Okay.
Like I said, Nahunta will provide the fire protection in that area, and will be known as the Nahunta Fire Protection or Nahunta Fire Department. They will maintain that station. It will be Nahunta Fire Station number 2. The citizens in that area of the consolidated area, will benefit from Nahunta being a insurance class 5. Currently, Paula Watson is a class 6. It's not going to be a whole lot, really, any savings for the residents in that area. Anything below a class 6 only affects commercial property. So any farming operations or anything like that could see a reduced amount on their, insurance. Also, Nahana will be compensated for that area, from the taxes that are collected in that, and finance will just forward that to Nahana. I recommend, there's one correction I need to make on my recommendation. I would recommend, the attached map here that you see to be approved as the Nahana Fire Protection District 6 mile. Originally, I had looked at 5 mile, but these larger districts, I always recommend doing 5 or 6 mile. So, you know, on the outer edges of these districts, if a subdivision goes in, then we're gonna have to come back and revisit and approve it for 6 miles. So if we go ahead and do it now, anything in the future, won't have to, it'll already be done. We won't have to come back before the board for any approval for that.
Brian, quick question for you. At the top of that map, that black line is the county line, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, the blue above it is in Wilson County. Is that because the partial is in both counties, or?
My understanding of this, and I'm glad Alan's here, my understanding of this, there's some kind of agreements with the other counties around about partials that go across the lines.
More than likely, Mr. Aycock, that's probably vacant land. It's probably, it's like you said, it's, the county line splits that parcel. If it's in blue like that, we're probably taxing the whole parcel, even though part of it is in Wilson. As new deeds come through and split that stuff, we actually split it up and they get their part, we get our part. But these old deeds that they were either in one or the other county, so they are being taxed in Wayne County, but it's probably vacant land on the back of a parcel, and the house is probably in the Wayne County side if there is a home. But that's the parcel is probably 100-some acres track, and it actually goes into the other county.
Yeah, access it through Wayne.
Correct.
Right, all right, now on the side, there's a little section down there in Johnson County, which Nahana's fixing to lose that. But would that be the same thing as the partial is in both counties?
I would imagine so, yes. So without looking at the individual parcel, I couldn't tell you that for 100%, but I would imagine it's the same instance, yes, sir.
Because Princeton is building a new fire station, and what Nahana had in Johnson County, we're fixing to lose. Okay, all right, that answered my question.
As you know, there are representatives here from each department, if you had any questions or anything for those particular departments.
Anybody got any questions?
Chief, are you good with it, Chief? All right, John, are you the chairman of the board at Nahana, you good with it? Yes, sir. Okay, David, you and Mr. Scott's representing Paula Watson, are y'all good with it? And Jay's on the board at Nahana also, you good with it? Okay. And like I said a while ago, this is, it's been a whole lot more complicated than I ever dreamed it was, because we've, you know, neither one of these departments has ever been through anything like this before. But once the citizens in that district and the members of that fire department, it has been, because it's been taught for years, but it was remarkably smooth. I mean, it's just, you know, the citizens up there, what they want is a fire truck in that station, and the station's gonna stay there. And, like I say, they've got several members that have already applied for Nahana, and I'm just proud of that community and the Nahana community for the transition going as smooth as it has. I mean, it just speaks highly of the people that live in both of those communities. Thank you.
Do you want an amendment motion to make it a 6-mile district?
Yes, I amend my motion to make it a 6-mile district instead of a 5.
All right. Got a motion on the floor. Please cast your vote. All right, thank y'all.
September the 1st, y'all gonna be brothers.
All right, number 13, a motion to approve information technology sand and infrastructure replacement project through contract with IPDS using ALPA funding with the appropriate budget amendment pending county attorney approval. Georgia.
Good morning. So this particular budget amendment, we're just looking to use 2 contracts. to approve that so we can move forward with our project. The two contracts are Dell Omnia for hardware and then the TD Synex contract that has appropriate ARPA language in it to be able to do our software. So hardware and software to replace our current aging SAN project. It came in under what we budgeted. $1.2 million is what we budgeted. We're just over $1 million. So with that being said, I'd like, with county approval, you guys to do the budget amendment, then we can move forward with the contract.
All right, have any questions?
And what was the name of that company?
IDPS.
IDPS.
I got IPDS on here.
IPDS.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, we approve as recommended with the appropriate budget amendment.
Have a motion on the floor, please cast your vote.
Mine come up, but it won't, okay, I got it.
Y'all said or yes, right?
Huh?
Daughtery, did yours pop up?
I did, I voted.
Mine came up. I voted.
Now you're not getting it.
All right. Thank
Is
y'all.
Is this an IT problem?
All right, moving on to number 14, the presentation of bids for fiber additions to the new DHHS and new detention facility by IT Director Giorgio.
So,
All right, Chip.
Carol, I'm gonna
Chris,
pull
get
up
me off of
a
this screen.
document real fast, just so they can see.
I did that. I didn't hit it hard enough, huh?
Let's see.
Thank you.
Totals of the bids. The bid opened the second time yesterday at 2.
We ain't got nothing on this one.
Okay.
So on the diagram here, this is what we're connecting. Everything in the red line, here's the 911 center. We're getting them to pull fiber through an existing conduit to a handhole here right outside of 911 center. And then we're gonna connect the new DSS Health Department building. So they're gonna pull fiber into another handhole here and then connect it to fuse them, splice. And this is it. This is putting the new building onto our network. We have a fiber loop, so if fiber gets broken in one area, it comes around the other end and we're not losing connectivity. So part of that bid is for the DHHS building. These are some pictures. Let me see here. Let's go here. And then the new jail, we have a data closet that has a conduit that comes to approximately this location right here. We're gonna get conduit pulled to a handhole, and a handhole is just where you would splice it on the ground. So they're providing the fiber, the pulling the fiber, splicing in this area right here near Strawn Street, and then rolling, putting duct between that fiber hole to one that we have existing over here, and that will connect us to our network as well. So the bids came out, and River City was the most responsible bidder. And so I'd like to move forward with giving them the contract to do this work, and we get this buildings connected to our network.
What's the definition of responsive?
So, they're the ones who put out the bids, and they managed to address every single thing that we asked them in the RFP, and they did it within the bid time, and when we vetted them all yesterday, From the bid time opening till the end of the day, they included everything that we asked for, and we're good with it going with them.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I did have one question. Can you back up to the previous screen?
Sure. The,
The
this
health
one?
department. Why are you having two handholds that close together? I mean, they're
The
30
location
foot.
where so before we put this handhole here at the back of the 911 center, in our property, and then, the reason for it is where the location was, it was hard to come through to go the other way so there's two right next to each other. pretty close.
So you're saying that there's already a handhold, two is there?
So, you talking about this one? Right here, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that one actually got damaged. We're putting a bigger one over the two of them, so there'll only be one hand.
Okay, all right, so that makes sense. It just seems a little odd that you
Yeah.
have two of them side by side.
See, there's the big one. It's already there. We got the conduits going into it, so.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion to approve River City's bid for this project.
I'll make a motion.
All right, got a motion on the floor, please cast your vote.
It passed. The screen's not up, but it passed.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll move back to, number 7. Entertain a motion to approve the budget amendments.
So moved.
So do we need to vote by hand here, correct?
No.
We don't? Okay. All right. Please cast your vote. All right, and number 8, off the consent agenda was moved to new business. A motion to approve the lease of hangar number 2 at the Wayne Exec Jetport to University of North Carolina Hospitals at Chapel Hill for a term of 5 years. Entertain a motion on that.
So moved.
I have a couple questions.
All right.
What all is included in this 5-year term?
Andrew's gonna come and explain.
So currently, let me pull up our existing lease.
Do you want me to put it on the screen?
You can, yeah, I'm looking at the old one right now.
Okay.
So our current lease runs until December 31st, 2028. UNC reached out because they would like to put a new helicopter in the hangar. It would specialize in pediatric care. I believe that was a response to the reduction in services at the hospital. So in exchange for that, they needed more living space. There's currently one living space that the existing air flight team uses, but they need another modular unit. So we are redoing our existing lease whereby we would build another modular unit in the back. The lease would remain $3,000 a month that it is now. When that new modular unit goes in, the lease would increase to $5,000 a month. In exchange for that, they would agree to list at least $4 million in personal property at the hangar. And I mentioned before, even though the lease is with UNC Hospitals, who's tax exempt, the company that runs this, I think they're called Carolina Air, they pay taxes on it. So even though the lease is with UNC, they will promise that Carolina Air will hold at least $4 million in taxable property.
Where is
there.
Carolina Air based out of?
Chapel Hill, I believe. Let me look. Durham, excuse me.
Durham. And those helicopters are registered
To Carolina Air.
to Carolina Air in Durham. But they're gonna pay
Well-
taxes on the helicopter here in
Well,
Wayne
the
County.
company's based out of Durham, but the taxes, the snapshot is January 1st. So as long as those helicopters are here January 1st, Wayne County would take those taxes.
Okay, that's a little odd, but I have to do some research on that because it just seems if they're based out of Durham.
That doesn't have anything to do with it. It's where the personal property is located.
Okay.
So for example, like if I have a boat and I live here in Wayne County, but the boat's in Carteret County, I still pay taxes in Carteret County if it's there January 1st.
Okay.
And if it's not January 1st, then we have the option to terminate the
Where you have
lease.
register that. But if that's different, I'll also look into that.
Well,
But,
they would be required to register it here in Wayne County, and if not, we could terminate the lease.
okay, so that's what the requirement is.
They're
on it.
required to,
Okay, okay,
yep.
all right.
Yeah, they have to register it here.
And they're claiming this as their address when they register it here, the hangar as their address.
No. The business is located out of Durham, but the personal property will be located in Wayne County.
Okay.
So they have to register that with the tax office.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
I have another question, I'm not finished.
Go ahead.
The modular, are we responsible for are they paying the lights, water, cable, internet, any of those?
Yes,
bills?
they pay all the utilities. We just pay for the installation, and we would be using ARP funds for that. And it's a qualified expense, seeing as it would be for public health, since it would be specializing in pediatric care.
And you said that UNC, their pediatric care, they're doing this because why? Because of their.
I've been told, I wasn't involved in negotiations, but I've been told that this was a response of the reduction in the pediatric care at the hospital. I think, Mr. Hardison, you may know,
That's
did a
what
unit
happened.
close or some beds went away or?
How many beds they close?
But really wasn't the bed, we have no providers for that
Oh,
service.
okay, that's what it is then.
Okay.
So there's no providers. So, and what we decided to do, I shouldn't say we, what the hospital decided to do is make sure we have an emergency service to provide for the pediatric.
All right.
Yeah, but that was not a hospital decision to close.
Oh,
It was a
excuse me.
provision
That-
Yeah, that was
I
provider.
misspoke.
Go, yeah.
Okay, that's a lot. So also with these helicopters, they also cover other counties, other areas also, so it's just not Wayne County that they're covering also?
That's correct.
Okay, just want to make sure, because a lot of times we make it seem like it's just for Wayne County, and it's really not for just for Wayne County.
No, they cover
There's times that
counties
they might
all
not
over.
even get anybody in Wayne County, and somebody from Greenville might fly over here to get someone in Wayne County and take them back. So it's not always that case, but I just hear that a lot, that, oh, we have them here and they're for Wayne County, but they're really not for Wayne County.
They cover
They're
all
for-
of Eastern North Carolina.
Exactly.
And if the helicopter's here, if both of them is out on a call, they'll send one from Rocky Mount or somewhere else. It's a joint operation.
East carrier,
And then there's another provider in Wayne County, I would
yeah,
say.
East carriers in Mount Olive too, or I reckon it's.
We're blessed to have 3 helicopters in Wayne County. But I know we had one call at Nahunta, and that's when they just had one out here, and it was on a flight, and they sent one to us from Rocky Mount. I mean, it's pretty good, well-oiled machine.
Mr. Foster, you got any more questions?
That's it for me.
All right, Mr. Williams?
Yeah, I just, when do we anticipate, the work being done where we'll increase the lease, to 5,000?
Well, it's gotta be encumbered by the end of this year. So, my understanding is they already have a provider, they already have it secured. So as soon as the lease is, entered into, I mean, they should start work pretty soon. I would be surprised if it wouldn't be within the next 2 to 3 months that we would increase that rent.
Yeah, and my other question was, being that they're possibly gonna be there for 5 years, are we gonna keep that standard, lease agreement?
For the 5-year term, yes, this would
Okay.
be 5,000 a year, or a month. Mhm.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any
Mr.
other
Chairman.
questions? Yes, sir.
I didn't read the lease. Do you have a provision in there for an increase at the end of the 5 years?
Well, it's only for a term of 5 years. So
Right.
we would have to renegotiate it at the end of
Okay,
that
so it's
5
not
years.
an automatic renewal of those terms. We would renegotiate.
We would have to renegotiate.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Motion's on the floor. Please vote if you hadn't already voted.
No, I just did.
I didn't come up.
Huh? You've already voted.
Okay.
Voted early. All right, that concludes all of our, new business, I think. So county manager report.
Okay. Came back, from our, association conference last week. Very good conference, had some good work sessions, probably the best conference I've attended in 3 or 4 years. had several, there was always something interesting to attend to. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Kim McGuire. She presented on Saturday on foster care. She was part of a panel discussion on foster care, so we enjoyed that, as well as our Leadership Institute was featured at lunch in a film, and that was exciting. And just another, again, congratulations to those Leadership Institute students and the work that they put in to participate in that. It's voluntary, you know, and they have to be selected by their supervisors. And there's, you know, those people see some leadership ability in those employees, and we want to expand their horizons and give them a better concept of all of local government, and makes them better prepared to step up. And I appreciate the work that they did, and all of the staff and the work that they did in making that happen. So, and that's all.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Foster?
I just agree with Chip on the conference. Been to a couple conferences, and felt like that was the first time I've learned something at a conference. So I appreciated it, and that's really it. Thank you.
Mr. Patterson?
No comment.
Ms. Barber?
No comment.
Wayne?
Yes, I had the pleasure of attending the Purple Heart banquet. Did not know I was going to be on the program until I got there, but the city read the resolution, and then I made some comments afterwards. But that's a touching ceremony. It's what some of those men and women have sacrificed. I mean, you see them come in wheelchairs and on crutches and lost limbs, and it's a very emotional, I reckon you would call it celebration or whatever, but anyhow, I really enjoyed it, and got to meet some nice people. And those Purple Heart recipients, we owe them a lot. They've made us so much sacrifice for us to have the freedom that we have today. And they had a good turnout, good speaker, and I just wanted to thank the Purple Heart group for letting me be a part of it. And also, Friday was a week ago, I attended the Eastern Fire Expo at the Convention Center in Raleigh. And there's all of the fire department vendors and for trucks and equipment and all. It's the largest one on the East Coast. And it's amazing. I do not know how these fire departments are staying in business. I mean, trucks that 10 years ago was costing $60,000-$70,000 is up close to $1 million now. Some of them is over $1 million in the equipment. It's like the turnout gear in there. I mean, not only the volunteer departments, but the city departments too. I honestly do not know how they're staying in business. It's ridiculous. But I really enjoyed it, but I came home with appreciating what we've got in Wayne County. Most of our departments are pretty tight on their money when they start spending, but you know, they don't have no control over it now. I mean, it's just no different from an automobile or a pickup truck. It's ridiculous what they cost. And they won't do any more than the trucks that was built 15 years ago. But I enjoyed it, but it's just me being in the fire service as long as I have, it just tugs at my heart to know that they're having to put out that kind of money for equipment. And one laughable part, at least it was to me, they had an electric fire truck there. The oldest fire truck I've ever seen. But anyhow, I asked some questions and never did really get a straight answer. But I asked them, I said, on an extended call, how long would the batteries last? I never got a straight answer. But the next day I asked somebody that knew. That electric fire truck has got a diesel power generator on it to keep the batteries charged.
That it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Commissioner Daugherty,
No comment.
Commissioner Williams,
First off, I want to give my condolences to the the family of the young child, 15-year-old young lady who was violently murdered. It's appalling and it's troubling. I remember when I was a kid, a commercial used to come on. It's 9 o'clock. Do you know where your child is? We need to get back to that. I also attended our North Carolina County Commissioners Conference meeting in Winston-Salem with several of my fellow commissioners and our county staff. It was a great conference. Kimberly McGuire, she was a panelist and she represented Wayne County well, which she discussed in detail the serious issues concerning foster care. The North Carolina County Commissioners Conference gave each of us the opportunity to see how other counties within our state are developing. And I'm proud to say that we're right in position and we're doing great things. I also had the opportunity to know firsthand that Wayne County is leading the charge with projects we are currently involved in. We are trending positively, and I hope we continue to do so. At the conference, I was nominated for the North Carolina Black County Commissioners as the Director at Large. Our Summer Youth Employment Program completed its 3rd year. Did you all guys hear me? It's 3rd year. And I want to thank so many individuals. This program impacted our county. This program impacted those young people who had the opportunity to work within the county government. This opportunity may have kept many of our young people this summer out of trouble. These young county residents earned money, received soft skills, and learned about their local government. I believe in this program, and I have so many to thank that we have kept this program running. I'd like to thank my Board of Commissioners. Commissioner Foster, I'd like to thank you. Commissioner Hardison, I'd like to thank you. Commissioner Aycock, I'd like to thank you. Commissioner Gurley, I'd like to thank you. Commissioner Aycock, I also like to thank you. And Commissioner Daugherty, I'd like to thank you. Chip, Ginger, all our staff, all of our managers that supported this program, I would like to thank you as well. I'd like to also thank Wayne County College for your support. I can't understand why something as valuable as investing in our youth isn't celebrated. 99% of the time, as elected officials, the position is a thankless job. However, you get blamed for things that you didn't even do. It's part of the job, I guess. If I could say one thing, learn to celebrate your elected officials from time to time. I want to read something from a youth. A youth gave me a card that was in our program this year. And I mean, it's just one person, one individual is just telling you something makes a world of a difference. And this is what the card states. Sometimes the people we count on the most are the ones who hear thank you the least. Since you're one of those people, I hope you always know how much you are appreciated. Thank you, Hunter. And that's his nickname, so I ain't gonna say his real name. But thank you guys for the program. There's kids that are appreciative, and have a great, great week, guys. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I did leave out one thing. Bridge dedication at Mount Olive for Sergeant Fishman that lost his life in the line of duty. The Sheriff Department and the DOT did a fantastic job in presenting that. It was one of those real hot days. And the country club at Mount Olive provided their building for us to have the ceremony in, and I just, very, very emotional. But we've got two bridges now at Mount Olive, one for Sergeant Fishman and one for Nola Sanders, the trooper that lost his life in the line of duty. And it gives you goosebumps when you ride by and see those signs on those bridges. But I want to thank the sheriff for all that he had to do with it, and anybody else. I don't know what, I don't know what was the DOT, Carol, I don't know exactly, but I just want to thank everybody that made that happen. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
let me outtalk Mr. Aycock again. I forgot something. Kendall, that was our director of our summer employment program, I want to thank her as well. So, so many people to thank, so I apologize if I missed someone. Thank you.
All right, we got closed session, Mr. Borden?
Not unless that matter that you mentioned
Yes, sir.
earlier.
You don't discuss the part about the easement part.
Property.
The purchase or sale of property. The sale of particular sale of property.
Already been done.
Mr. Chairman,
We
I
could
move
do-
we go into closed session, discuss, property.
And to consult with your counsel to have attorney-client privilege.
All in favor, please raise, is it gonna come up or raise your right hand?
I've already cut mine off.
Raise your right hand. All right, thank you. We're in closed session. All right, meeting adjourned.